My name is Cameron Taylor, and this is my story. Yeah, I'm originally from West Virginia, grew up in a great family, went to church on Sundays. My junior year of high school, I went to a youth Christian camp, and that's actually whenever I was saved and gave my life to Christ. That really shifted the focus for the rest of my life. Fast forward to college. In that transition, went to a lot of different churches. Some churches have great communities, some I wasn't able to quite find that. And I think whenever I've had that strong community around me, my relationship with Christ has just deepened and gotten stronger and stronger. Since I've moved to Florida, it kind of felt like I was trying to get that back. So I knew that was what I wanted. So when I moved to Fort Lauderdale, went to a few different churches and nothing really seemed to be, a great fit. I was invited by a friend of a friend, and they told me about this church, Journey in Lake Worth, and it was a great experience. And I remember kind of thinking like, this would be great if I was closer. And I think at that time I was still making some excuses why it couldn't work. And every time I came, it really felt like home, but it just wasn't consistent. And then I got a promotion with work. Because of that, I was able to move up to the Boynton area. I signed up for the Serve event for the Women's Conference, and that was my last attempt to try to meet some community. Before I went to the Serve event, I remember praying and just asking God to use me, direct me, kind of open the doors that were supposed to be opened. And I remember, different people that ended up kind of directing me into a different space the next day. I remember speaking with a few members on staff, and I told them that I really wanted to do Freedom. After having some conversations, I think the next day I was able to get in one of the groups at the last second. So when I got into Freedom, I think I was excited to be there, but also somewhat hesitant. I don't want to say I wasn't fully committed. I think there was a couple weeks whenever I just didn't chime in. And I think I was challenged by some of my leaders to share my input, share my thoughts. I had to look inward and say, all right, if you want to do it, do it. Whenever I did put that effort in, I was becoming vulnerable, and that was uncomfortable. Through that, God has really challenged me and helped me kind of dig deeper into my faith. Paired with that was the relationships that I was making with these guys, and then that kind of led up to the Freedom Conference. Just being able to worship with you guys, being able to look down and kind of go through that experience together was really cool. I started primarily attending the Boynton Delray campus. Started serving in the kids ministry as well. So that was something I kind of felt called to do, was to serve, to be more involved with the church. Freedom was able, and the groups were able to get me in a position to have community with other men, to dig deeper in my faith, to be challenged in my faith. When you do sometimes feel like you're on an island or you don't have those connections, it's really easy to find those relationships outside of church, but to find those really good relationships and good connections is really vital. If you can just trust and just step outside your comfort zone, there's a lot of community, there's a lot of good relationships to be made, but you're never going to experience that. You're never going to experience what God has to offer for you if you aren't willing to take that initial leap. My relationship with Christ now is so much stronger than it was before I joined this group. Now it's an ongoing daily relationship with Christ, and something that I really owe to the groups, because without getting into the groups, being challenged, being pushed outside my comfort zone, and also being able to meet other Christian men that were able to help me with that, I don't think I'd be able to be at the point that I am right now.